back from what was essentially the garbage pile at the cool free thrift store yesterday in Astoria. So I have a few things to show you. Not everything's related to the weird Lifeboat poster. But also I'm doing laundry, so I actually don't want to go on forever as much as I would love to talk to you for hours, and I'm reading a good book, so I want to get back to that. But I think where we should start, oh my gosh, is I would like to start with this Ashley Alby's tort claim notice. I paid $32, I believe, to the county to give this to me to find out that the district attorney's office included all this harsh pejorative language and bullying and lack of professional conduct that went on for years and was ignored by the people at the helm of my little tiny county's DA's office. Okay, and then I delivered it back to the county, which was me kind of being sarcastic about like, here, let me give you your stuff, but meanwhile slip it into the record. And then this is the stupid poster of me that was promulgated at Lifeboat a couple of months ago. And then this is the Lifeboat Services ProPublica, kind of like a conglomerate packet I made that just copy pasted a bunch of data from their most recent filings. And of most concern, you would see, okay, I'll turn on the light, is the, so basically I made too many packets and like everybody's trying to ignore me, so they wouldn't really take that many. Everybody was absent and is like lame duckish. But looking at the amount of money that is being poured into an organization, so other salaries and wages, $486.86. So whoever spent $486,086 on other salaries when Lifeboat was accepting this 1.27 million, let's just say 7, like $1.27 million of taxpayer money went into an organization that essentially engaged in a homophobic hate crime against me and tormenting me as a survivor of my loved one's long-term terminal illness for which I was an unpaid caregiver of the state. Nobody is looking at my stream. You guys need to go get a life. Go outside and go jogging. Get some fresh air. So basically we have a corruption problem in homeless industries. And if it's any small consolation, I was reading an ACLU report on homeless industries in California, and sure enough, they're riddled with crooks, abusers, sexual abuse, and drug trafficking. So as a pretty delinquent dropout, I don't really pay taxes per se, other than when I pay like for a $32 form. But I feel burdened with telling the taxpayer your money is being misused. So I got the city council lady, Andrea Mazzarella, sold a house to the head of this nonprofit, which has a judge on its board, right after they get this money award. Monica Steele at the county rams it through. Hi, I don't know where you're saying panic attack. Okay, this stuff is rich. So basically, this is kind of an update. This is 2 months later. Creepy stalker harassy thing published at a law firm. How does it relate to the district attorney lawsuit? More than you would want to realize, because we have an ineffective, corrupt district attorney, a crooked judge helping embezzle state money, or maybe we shouldn't say embezzle, conduiting state money into a nonprofit run by a madman with a criminal background. So I send this to the head administrator of the court Oregon, that I have gone to the felon with a firearm who has a background in burglary and methamphetamine dealing, who is running, or how do you say, misrunning, is that even a word? He's abusing homeless people with his cruelty and his sadistic personality at the shelter that I've been trying to whistleblow for 4 years, has now put a target on my back so that all the sex offenders and meth users who go to his facilities, which he has kicked me out of for calling him on sexually harassing homeless women, has a judge on his board who now the judge's certifier, which is essentially the Judicial Fitness Commission of Oregon, which is run by a lovely woman, even if it is a mainly exonerating body, has been informed that a sitting judge is letting this much corruption fester in a nonprofit, that a nonprofit is essentially using state money to harass me. And who am I? I'm the daughter of a federal employee. I am the granddaughter of a federal employee. Go ahead and call me a Fed. Call me a cousin of a federal employee. Whatever you want to call me. But calling me like all this, which, okay, this is freedom of speech. This upset the chief of police so bad, he contacted a sergeant who's been in the community longer and was like, what can we do about this? Well, what this does is it basically becomes an indictment against the organization's competency, which I've been trying to tell people that he is abusive and incompetent. And now he's put it in one graphic design poster, put it up on the walls of the Methodist Church, put it up on the walls of a basement underneath a restaurant where he has overcrowded bunk beds, including mattresses on floors, with bunk beds so small people have broken their ankle on them, in a windowless basement with a muggy shower situation where there are co-ed showers and men knocking on the door to get women out of the showers because they're taking too long, in a situation run by a man who has asked the women to suck his blue balls. And his little baby mama, Erin Carlson, whose dad, Jeff Carlson, was running the convention center down in Cannon Beach, has put her dad on the board, his cousin on the board, petitioned to the judge. I called his lawyer. His lawyer charged him $3,500 plus additional fees to get his gun rights back as a felon running a homeless shelter. And then you want to tell crime victims, oh yeah, go down to the homeless center and get harassed by this man who wants to feed you rotting food so he can pocket more of the money. Pocket more of that 1.27 million, while he's feeding you rotten donated food, giving you food poisoning. And then he wants to put up a hate campaign poster against the whistleblower because I've been trying to tell people. And the state of Oregon, civil rights investigators have found it's completely obvious that he's violating civil rights and disability rights because he doesn't have any idea what the Americans with Disabilities Act is. He's putting disabled people going down a staircase, and he's routinely harassing them and giving preferential treatment to people who sell drugs and people who assault women. And they're even messing up rape crisis at the door with the shelter that he refuses to allow caregivers for terminally ill people. Oh, and a year after the terminally ill person dies, he wants to put a poster about how obsessed he is with a terminally ill person, that he denied medical care, which is routine administration of Medicare drugs for organ failure. So nightmare. So I guess the good news is I just happen to have the judicial administrator for our little county courthouse's email due to the fact she didn't like me making like whatever educational kiosk videos of the superintendent running over the elderly lady outside the school when the city and county were being sued for helping this guy get away with almost murdering a woman. We've got another sheriff's deputy who did murder a woman after he's retired and just pursuing his interest in meth and guns, coming down the hill and killing that woman last June. Is that Mike Munson Smith? So we've got Craig Hops is still being sued by the woman who got hit. And then I'm not supposed to make any videos transmitting the court transcript, even though I can just order the transcript and make it at home, whether I make it in the kiosk or not. Oh, cameras are prohibited in the courthouse. Oh, okay, got it. So I let her know I went to this madman's gun hearing where the sheriff is like, oh, wow, thank you for essentially black bagging all these homeless people into a basement. Here, have your gun rights back. And people have seen him fondling his gun at the facility, feel unsafe with his judgment, feel frightened about his judgment, know that he's routinely bullying and rude to them. And my dear sweet Judge Peterson says, oh, your work is admirable, caring for the homeless. Yeah, and it is, right. It is admirable. It is admirable to give a damn for the homeless. But when you're routinely abusive to the homeless, routinely take the money that was intended for the homeless crisis and put it into your own bank account while unduly enriching yourself at the expense of the poor who are actually smarter than you think and actually notice it. The court administrator knows what I'm talking about, that the right to the public observing court procedures is not stalking. It is a right of a clear and open, transparent, democratic governance, that if you're going to have a justice system, we're not having secret policies, right? So I show up to the hearing. I'm like, okay, dude, you want your gun back? Why? Oh, because you're paranoid about the house you bought with the money that is clearly not adequately going to the homeless. So I get the city council lady, Andrea Mazzarella, admitting she sold him this house. It was clearly listed online. I just got confirmation, published it on my blog, and boom, he's like, she's stalking me because she knows I have a house that I bought with homeless money and I need a gun because I'm so paranoid about maybe the homeless are going to break into his house. Like, I don't know what his paranoia level is. He's a known gangster who put people in prison by perjuring himself on the stand, which is what I was raised in Tennessee, born in Portland, and have lived a few different places, including California. But anyway, so I've been told Ozark has perjured himself on the stand about a shooting that person did not commit, with the implication being that Ozark had a motive to lie about the shooting because he was involved. At any rate, he's a known liar. He tried to perjure himself to the courts to screw me over, and it didn't work. Like, I disproved their whole theory. And he got a crooked cop involved in harassing me to keep me blacklisted from the homeless industry because they don't want truth tellers or accountability in the homeless industry because they want the money. They want to embezzle the homeless tax dollars and have total monopolistic control over how the homeless are mistreated under their watch. And certain sadistic individuals have a propensity to be abusive to homeless people, and they want to keep that flow and access to vulnerable people. Are they involved in the drug trade? They have people involved in the drug trade. They were people involved in the drug trade. Why do we not have at the Oregon State Legislature policies to keep felons with drug dealing backgrounds out of this cashola? Well, because nobody wants to do the homeless work. So the Judicial Fitness Commission can check it out. Nobody's on the stream right now. Sorry I scared you all away. But this is conduct unsuited for a judge's nonprofit. It is a misuse of the judiciary. It reflects back to 4 years of mismanagement that if the board could have gotten under control if the board was not a puppet organization. If the board could have gotten the executive under control, terminated him, and installed good leadership, we would not be to the point that $1 million nonprofit is taking $500,000 in salaries while doing hate and defamation campaigns against a whistleblower. So peace, y'all. I'm going to go back to my book and my laundry. Thank you for watching. Live streams are the best. So see you at City Council tomorrow, and they will be getting ProPublica financials, the hate poster, printed out. And I know, and so Officer Oya's son wanted a copy. Let's get him a copy. I think he deserves it. He was looking at this like, what the actual F? And if there's anyone I want to influence, it's the youth who will see the BS because they can spot like corruption and troll tactics and whatever. And so, like when Ozark's in jury duty last week, like, does anyone have a problem with meth? He's just like grinning, like, I love meth. He was a meth dealer. That's what his customers tell us. And the Methodist Church is letting him do it. Oh, now he wants to take over Food Not Bombs and say, oh, but we can't have marry her because I'm the dictator of Food Not Bombs too. No, dog. Food Not Bombs is non-hierarchical, non-authoritarian, non-misogynistic bullying, all the stuff. And essentially, they basically were insecure with our emails, put us up on a big listserv, and I'm like, oh my God, guys, you know what this is going to mean. How about I just let you know that Ozark is a big bully, and Teresa Barnes is like, oh, well, someone believes you, but not like me. And I'm like, okay, well, just kiss up to a misogynist abuser. Oh, and Jacqueline's like, well, this salad belongs to Lifeboat. As she shrinks, as she knows she is now entered into the moral compromise. And the political machinations of the moral compromise involved in immunizing misogyny within the shelter system fundamentally speak to the lack of humanity that is conferred upon the homeless by the people who deride them, who are derogatory to them, who have more concern for the well-being of their cats than for the actual human beings being abused. See ya.